We are going to go ahead and get kicked off for today. This is our crew as Fox and Dreamer are both out on vacation this week, getting some very well-deserved time off and hopefully some rest and relaxation while they're at it, but I don't guarantee that. So we will be starting this week with me, I guess. I don't know. Why not? So couple updates that I wanted to give. Uh, Actually, one in particular is I wanted to give a shout out to Your Average Lord, who reported a non-game breaking bug to us, but was correct, and we got that fixed already and taken care of. So very much appreciate that. The bug reporting process is super useful and easy in the questions, contacts, bugs channel. There's a form you can fill out, or you can always reach out to myself, Zipper, or Sachet. But greatly appreciate anybody who finds something and brings it to our attention. So thank you very much to Your Average Lord for that. And with that, we're going to start our updates. Kicking over first to Beetle Dude to find out if he has a microphone or not.
I lied. I had one the whole time. Thanks, Bolin. Appreciate you getting this started. Yeah, we've got some updates. A lot of my updates sound similar because we are hard at work at a lot of large things that take a lot of time to build. But I will mention the one that I'm most excited about is just the great progress that we continue making on the combat testing grounds. Myself and Second Best Dad have been powwowing to get our animation game on point with the sandbox, and super excited to be progressing in that area and excited to show off some of the cool stuff that's happening there. Second Best Dad might be in the audience, and I would say he's good to share some teasers if he wants to. But oh, he's here! Perfect, he did it. Did the thing. So a big part of what we're looking at is basically like weapon-based animations. So I think the one that he posted there is specific to like two-handed large weapons, and so we'll kind of be centering our animations going forward around kind of weapon type and things like that, at least for basic abilities. So super excited. We are hard at work at that and just improving things in general. I think I might have mentioned it last time, but we just recently brought on a new pixel artist who has quite a bit of games under his belt, shipped games, indie games, and who is very talented in the visual effects arena. So we're hoping to use him for a lot of our visual effects going forward as well. So super excited. That continues to progress, and we're going to do what we can with the combat testing grounds to make it more exciting and keep it fresh. So keep your eyes out for that. We're going to continue improving and bringing smaller updates to make it more enjoyable and keep it fresh, keep it real. So that's super exciting. That artist and our other artists as well will also be making progress on yellow pet eggs as well, so we can try to get those out in a timely manner, which is also very exciting. I love seeing new pets, and I want to collect them all, which is a problem. So they need to stop making so many, probably. Other than that, we're just working towards other features as well. I think we might have mentioned, maybe we didn't. If not, I'm sorry, whoever. Like gene re-rolling that we're working on hard right now, and just a ton of other smaller features that we're doing in conjunction with our bigger items. And I'm sure I probably forgot something, but those are the big ones I'm excited about right now. Really excited about the new animation systems that we're working on. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Back to you, Bola.
Thank you, Beetle Dude. We need to find out if "Gotta Hatch 'em All" would fall under trademark infringement.
We can make it work.
So with that, let's go over to Magnus for some updates.
Hey guys, so I was on vacation last week. I'm glad to be back in building again this week. I was only out for a brief period of time, but I feel like I missed a month. It's crazy how fast things move in this industry. So first off, as you all know, there was some chain instability on 2 occasions last week due to some issues following a refactor of the code that updates the state on the Avalanche X chain. The high-level overview of what happened is that during the refactor of the validator software that runs on each of the machines. It basically does an update on the X chain state as transactions come through. And there was a time period where the X chain got out of sync due to that refactor. And this caused the Ava Labs RPCs to show as unhealthy. And those nodes got removed from the load balancer and they went out of service, which is why there were some RPC issues. And our subnet was still running, and so that's why Pocket was working because their nodes were kind of like still in action. They didn't get automatically removed, and so our subnet was kind of like making blocks, but I guess the bulk of the transactions weren't getting submitted. And there was a brief time during the rolling restarts to bring everything back in sync by applying the latest updates from Ava Labs that our chain may have reported as down, but we got those quickly back up. I won't bore you with the full technical details, but if you want the full postmortem with links to the GitHub commits from Ava Labs that kind of like details what was happening with the X chain at that time and why the subnets were affected with that, you can check out the link I'm going to drop in the chat. And I also want to give a big shout out to Pinecone. Because he's been working on some awesome monitoring tools that allows us to respond really quickly when something like that happens. Basically, if the any of the chains report is failing, we get notified and we can hop online and address that. So it's been super great to have that. Definitely makes it a lot easier for all of us. And lastly, we're going to be making some changes to enable flag storage. Basically flag storage bridging. So things like Perilous Journey, participation in past rerolls will also be available on Clayton. The bulk of that is available on DFK chain, but basically like any kind of thing that was in an older version of flag storage on other chains, we're going to bring that all into sync across DFK chain and Clayton. So if you're a builder, you can access that info more easily, as well as let our contracts do that. They'll also kind of fix some of the issues related to dark summoning with like extra summons on Clayton. Also, in order to make sure that there are no data-related hiccups during that bridging process, we're going to be pausing several features in the game, like summoning for a few hours to make sure that the data makes it over to Clayton as it is expected on DFK chain. But that shouldn't last more than 4 or 5 hours by our kind of estimation right now. But yeah, we'll have more updates to come about that as soon as we nail down a date for that release. That's it for me.
Thank you, Magnus. Sunbear.
Thanks, Bolin. Just a couple things. We got some exciting partnerships that are about to be announced. So watch for that for the next week or so. Also wanted to just drop a quick note. I was talking with Florian with BlockPit today, and I know some of you might be waiting for an update that's going to improve some of the auto linking. Just to say, like, they've been amazing. Every little bit of feedback we've given them, they've really gone to work on it to make the experience even better for all of us as DFK players, given that they are also DFK players and wanting the best product for us. But they did run into a couple of things. So there is a little bit of the auto linking that's going to still be coming very soon that they're working hard on. So I'm sure we will hopefully see that soon and can provide an update later on.
Yeah, just want to second that shout out to BlockPit. They've been fantastic. So if you are using them and you notice anything that doesn't look right, let us know. We'll be sure to pass that on. They do also have a Discord if you want to hop in there and do it directly. But Florian has been fantastic to work with. So super excited for that mapping update to come as well. But it's in a really good place now, just in general as well. So super excited for that. They've been great. One last thing that I forgot to mention, and then neither of them did, so I'll call them out instead. Right after this AMA at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is 48 minutes from now, Magnus and Hubert will be participating in a Twitter space with Wonderverse, which I am going to drop a link to that space now. That link should theoretically work in 48 minutes. I guess we'll find out. But definitely make sure you tune in there. They're going to be doing a space with them. Should be really good. So I'm excited for that as well. All right. Now we're going to go to some questions. Let's see. So the first question is basically how to track jewel supply right now. So there are still some websites that are reporting incorrectly. We are still in contact with those websites and trying to get everything updated. The one that is most up to date and accurate is CoinMarketCap. But I will throw in a caveat. So CoinMarketCap is up to date and correct. They don't update like fully in real time. It's usually a day or two updating, but the way that they calculate circulating supply might throw some people off. So just to clarify that, if you look at CoinMarketCap, their circulating supply does not include Joule that is staked, so C and S Joule. Obviously, it does not include burn because that's not circulating. They also don't include vesting because it's not circulating. And then dev controlled wallets such as the Quest Fund or our treasury are not included in that circulating supply either. So if you want to basically account for the full 125 million Joule, it's the circulating supply of coin on CoinMarketCap plus CNS Joule plus the remaining vesting plus the burn and then plus the dev controlled wallets. But it does all calculate out to 125 million. But you can see that on CoinMarketCap, and as long as you know what's going into their circulating supply, it makes sense. So just wanted to throw that out there as a clarification. Second question is going to be a kind of broad one, so I will invite anyone who wants to chime in to do so. So basically please comment on your view of the current health of the DFK economy and whether you anticipate its current state poses challenges to the growth of the player base moving forward, referring to the existing stock of power and quest related tokens, number of heroes and pets, and how that correlates with our current player base.
I guess I will jump in on this one. Yeah, I guess with the economy overall, I mean, obviously we are in a bear market and things have dropped quite a bit. So that is, no one really likes being in a bear market. We are hopeful that, in the future that things will improve. But as far as like for creating challenges for new players, I think actually right now is probably the easiest time for people to be able to join in, just with where the values of things are at the moment. Also when it comes to like new content coming out, we are going to see some of the tokens that right now don't get used very much or at all, potentially getting a lot more use, just with like PvP coming and the use of potions. So I do expect that as we release new features, we're going to see, adjustments occur then. And then of course there's a lot that comes into just getting new players and whatnot, which I think Sunbear had some commentary there about our efforts on that. But I guess just overall, I mean, right now for those that are new players getting into the game, I think the situation is such that they could get in at without that very much of a barrier to entry. So
Yeah, I think I'll add some comments there, Hubert. Thanks for teeing that up a little bit. I think about like the last year and a half. I think about like that quick success. People could see the vision of what this is, how unique it is, and obviously aped in because they could see that vision. And if you could tell someone at that point that there would be a point where they could have as low a barrier of entry as there is right now, I think they would probably be excited to see that or wait for something like that. Like you said, because it is such a low barrier of entry right now to really have so much growth opportunity. Not advice, just a statement of what things look like. So I just wanted to say from a biz dev perspective, as a team, what we're really focused on right now is growth, is getting the game to people to see what it is. Because the reality is we have built a tremendous foundation for growth. And something about this team that keeps me here is that we're never going to build a product that is subpar. We're going to take the time to totally and completely do it right. And in fact, this team, as me bringing different biz dev opportunities and different teams that have proposals, and I meet with a lot of different folks that want to work with us. This team more often than not says no because they're willing to say no to defend the vision of the product, the quality of the product, and make sure that the direction we're going is in line with what it needs to be. And that's what I really appreciate about this. One of the things I really appreciate about this team. But anyway, I just wanted to say, from a business development perspective, we're focused on the things that are going to make us grow right now and help us grow as we build on this foundation. CEX listing, centralized exchange listing is at the top of that list. We are very hard at work on that process. On and offboarding, we're so close to having several of those opportunities for our players so that it's easier to get in and out of the game, which has been feedback on our game for a while. Various game launchers in various parts of the world, launchers that will not only give exposure to new players, but potentially even help with incentives and campaigns to help people try it out that haven't had an opportunity to do that before. Also partnering very strategically in various parts of the world with groups like for South Korea, Play One Games, who has built a complete plan for us, which does include translating the game into Korean and working with KOLs and creating tutorials in Korean to really embrace or help people embrace in that language, the people that are in that area of the world. And I'll just add real quick, because I feel like I'm already kind of going here. We take the time to do it right. I know feedback from the community has been sometimes that we don't always make our deadlines, or we don't always deliver as quickly as we would like to. But that's the other thing I love about this team. Like, you're never going to see a product or anything come out that isn't exactly what we want it to be and what we want to bring to you as a quality product. We take the time to do the checks on everything, to have outside people come in and assess the quality of our products, of our contracts, and make sure that it's completely safe. Every decision is made not just with one person or a couple people. They're made in committees. They're made as a group. We bring transparency to the table so you know what's going on. We have a supportive community. We have tokenomics that are set up to really be successful in the future. If you think about like the market cap on Jewel, the burn mechanics that are built in, the deflationary piece of that, the utility of our tokens and the continued added utility of our tokens. There's just so much set up for success here. And so I just wanted to speak to that question. What's the state? The state is we're on the verge, and it's just going to take a little movement, a little bit of, I don't know, just whether it's the market, whether it's the right area that we finally get into in the world, or the right player base. But I'm really excited. I feel like there's a lot that's about to happen here. Again, not advice, but just how I feel strongly about it. I've spent quite a bit of time in Iowa, so I'll just end with this. I feel like we're in a place of, if you build it, they will come, and we're building it right now. And I think people are going to start noticing what this really is. Thanks.
Measure twice, cut once.
Absolutely.
All right, let's see. So our next question is kind of related to that one anyway, so we're going to go ahead and pull this one. is thoughts on potentially increasing the hero summoning cooldown per hero and or per wallet, as well as just in general on like mats and that kind of thing.
Yeah. So I guess first off, I'll say doing like a per wallet like reduction on summoning capability is probably not something that we would entertain, just because things like that are pretty easy to defeat just by multi-walleting, and I'm not sure that I see the value in doing something like that. However, if I think something where we would change the cooldown times for summoning is something that could be done. Something I've thought about before, but not something that we would do without the community's backing. So it would require a governance vote to do something like that. I guess I'd be curious to figure out the amount of interest there is in such a move. I mean, it would increase, or I guess decrease, the rate at which heroes would be, created and entering into the market without affecting dark summoning. So you could still dark summon, which is a net negative on the hero population. Yeah, I guess I'd be curious to hear, the community's thoughts on that. If that's something that they want us to like put up a vote for and like come up with a proposal or what. If there is support, I mean, I guess I would be supportive of it. It's something I've thought about before. And things that were designed right at the very beginning of the project worked well at the time, but a lot has changed since then. So I think we should always be open to fundamental changes like that. As far as materials go, I do think right now, I kind of mentioned it already before, but we do have a lot of content coming soon that is going to add a lot more utility to those materials. So I'm not really of a mind to reduce anything. And with level 10 profession quests coming out and pets with their pet bonuses coming out as well, it's actually going to be a little bit of an increase in production rate of some of the materials you can get from questing, with the idea that once PvP is out and people are using potions, that will be kind of the counterbalancing force to that. And I'd really like to see, how things go once we get to that point before really deciding any fundamental changes about drop rates or anything like that.
And pet feeding.
Oh yes, and yeah, pet feeding will also be, that's coming out pretty soon as well, with things coming out, with our pet utility coming out, and those do also burn tokens as well. So we'll likely see, some tokens getting burned more than others, likely the ones that aren't being used very much, because the way it's kind of set up is you can burn almost any of the tokens that are created to go in as food ingredients. So you'll see how all that works once we get it out. So, yep.
Awesome. Yeah, and I would just add that, we're always open to the feedback and the thoughts and, even changing things that we consider kind of fundamental. But we want to make sure that they're well planned for, well thought out, and also done with the community support. So like Hubert mentioned, if we were to entertain changing summoning cooldowns, it would have to be through governance. It wouldn't just be us deciding to make changes like that. But we are very much open to feedback and hearing y'all's thoughts and hearing your opinions. So make sure you keep sharing those with us, please. That's the whole goal. All right, let's see. There was a question about when we were going to do the airdrops from the Season 2 dual raffle. Those were done a couple days after the raffle, so if you won something but haven't seen your prize, please let us know. But those should all be done. There was a question that I wanted to touch on real quick, although we are going to primarily actually hold it for next week for Dreamer, in regards to where we are standing with our treasury at the moment. I would make a general comment that stable. And then also, our treasury is and always will be largely in our own tokens. Yes, absolutely. That's how the project's set up. That's how pretty much every crypto project is set up. But our treasury is made up of not only our own tokens, but also primarily pretty much every blue chip token, as well as a reserve of stable coins as well. So our treasury is diversified. It's not only our tokens. I'm imagining this question was hoping for a little bit more detail, which is fair. I just don't have it. And I don't want to say the wrong information. So we will circle back to this question next week when we have Dreamer as well to give a more thorough update on that. Let's see. Okay. Hubert, you ready? I have a series for you.
Alrighty.
All right. Questions about the future crafting professions. Each hero, just to clarify, each hero is going to get a random 2 crafting genes, correct?
That's right. Yep.
All right. Are they going to act like the current gathering professions where we send heroes out to do the quest, or will this be a new way of interacting with that?
It'll be a new way. There will be. We're planning on kind of a set it and forget it approach for allowing your crafters to be used by others. But like actually crafting for yourself would be more of like an active thing that you'd be doing, rather than just sending them off on a quest.
And then with that system, depending on the item that you're wanting to craft, would then determine the length of time or other requirements that go into it, correct?
So yeah, we're not fully far along enough to say for sure how long it will take to craft something. At the moment, I'm kind of inclined to say there's not going to be like a time delay. It's more of a resource requirement, and having a crafter that's capable of crafting it will be kind of the things that you're looking at. But yeah, I think that kind of answers it.
It does, thank you. And guessing you'll need certain items to be able to craft different things.
That's right. Yep. We're planning on various recipes and whatnot, and the sources of those coming from different things, not just like profession quests.
Will the crafting genes have 2 stats that boost them as well?
That is our current plan. Yes.
Are we planning on using stamina for crafting?
So yes, likely.
All right. And then last of this series of questions, but don't go anywhere because I'll have more for you. Will the crafting genes be able to level up like the current gathering quests?
They will. Yes. It'll work a little differently, of course, but yeah, the plan is for them to have a skill level that grows.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, sir. So those were all of the crafting questions of the day. We do have a PvP related question. Will hero rarity scale any of the PvP abilities outside of stats?
Outside of stats, no. Yeah, I mean the benefits of having rarer heroes is that you get more stat growth, and that should reflect in your ability to do and receive damage. And everything else that goes into combat.
Thank you, good sir. And switching again over to pets. With the pet utility release, will we be rolling only XP bonus scalar and profession abilities, or will crafting and combat abilities be determined as well?
So the combat and crafting bonuses are going to stay as they are. We're not ready for those to be defined yet, and so yeah, those will be re-rolled in the future. So right now it'll just be your gathering profession bonuses. I'll also note that the experience gain that you get for just having a pet equipped that's fed is not something that needs to be rolled. It's set by the rarity of the pet. And I guess I can just mention what we're planning for that. I don't think that's going to change at this point. So it's it's 4% increased gain per rarity level. So starting at 4 and ending at like 20% if you have a mythic equipped.
Awesome. I very much appreciate it. That actually does wrap us up for questions for today, which it's actually a pretty good day for it to end a little early, so Hubert and Magnus can have a little break before they hop straight into another Twitter space. That said, I think Hubert just dropped a lot of really interesting information that everybody's going to want some time to process anyway. So, super excited for that. Very much appreciate everybody who is here on the stage as well as everybody in the audience listening in. Does anybody have any final comments before we call it a day?
I'll just say, obviously, if you can't tell today, I'm just feeling super bullish. I'm proud of this team, and I'm proud of like what we're doing to be really innovative, and the experts on our team, the people that we bring in as partners who are experts in their areas, and the direction we're going. I'm just feeling really excited, and wanted to share that with y'all today.
Appreciate it, Sunbear. All right. So I will just end saying again, thank you to everybody. We cannot say enough how much we appreciate this community. You guys are absolutely amazing, and you are the reason why we do this and why we are where we are. And it's been a long year, and it's been a long year. That's the best I got on that front. But you know, we're here for it. We're here to keep building. We're gonna keep producing. And yes, it's only March. I meant the past 12 months, not 2023. Sorry, Zipper. But we're gonna keep building. We're gonna keep delivering. And we just really appreciate the fact that y'all are here and y'all are supporting us and backing us. And we're gonna keep making DFK the best that it can be, and really excited for the future. And I'll end with bullish.
Ash.
Nicely said.
Bullish.
See y'all next week. Don't miss the Twitter space.